I will now discuss further post-installation tasks that need to be done. We will need to check that the SSIS system has been installed correctly and the required resources have been created. We also need to check that the SSAS databases have been created. I will now show you what needs to be done to complete these two steps. We will now check the SSAS and SSIS systems. To do this, we will need to open the Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. We will first connect to the Analyst service to check that the databases have been created. You will then see a list of databases. Next, we will connect to the database engine. Then we open the Integration Services catalog and then check that all the projects have been created. Next, we check that the production environment exists and make sure that we have variables listed here. This is all that needs to be tested at this point. After completing the above two steps, the next thing that needs to be done is to update the security on the Datamart folder so the SSIS server is allowed to create and update files in this directory. We now need to open the installation directory for the Datamart system. This is the directory where all the resources for the Ellipse analytical system are placed. The SSIS system will create and update log files in this directory. For this reason, it is required that the user running the SSIS server has access to this folder. I've just added every user to have full control. This is not recommended, and the user running the SIS service should be added here individually and given full control to this directory. The next task that needs to be done is to update the SAS service user. This is so the Power BI gateway can pass a user to the SAS service and the SAS service can authenticate this user. To make this change, we need to open the service configuration window in Windows. We then need to find the appropriate service. This is a service that will need to be changed. In here, you will need to put a domain account. This account will also need local admin rights to this server and also have the Windows Authorization Access group on the domain controller enabled for it. Then the service will need to be restarted. The next task to be done is to create the SQL Server Agent schedule that will automate the running of the analytics data load. The first thing you will need to do is open Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. You will then need to enable the SQL Server Agent. Now that the SQL Server Agent is started, what we need to do is to add a job to automatically schedule the system to load. We need to add a new step. We need to select SQL Integration Service Package. We need to specify the service. Then we need to select the package. These packages will exist in the Datamart Load project. There are two packages that can be used to schedule the system. The first one is Load All. This package will cause the system to do a full refresh, including the SSIS load and the SAS load. You can schedule this item if you want the load to occur at a specific time each day. There is another job called Load All Check. What this does is it checks if the MSB DRT batch job on Ellipse has run. This is a special batch job that has been set up in Ellipse just for the purpose of scheduling this load. We will set up load all. You get this error because the environmental variable has not been linked. We need now to select this. So you need to go into Configuration and select the environment that's going to be used. The next step is to set the correct schedule. So you use these settings to set the refresh schedule that you would like. This will occur every day at 2 AM. If you were going to schedule the check all load, you would set a schedule more like every 30 minutes, so the system checks every 30 minutes if the Ellipse batch job has been run. There is a lot more information in the install guide that covers how to set up the system to automatically refresh. This completes the post-installation tasks. The next steps would be to complete the testing and configure the rest of the Power BI system.